Hello, everybody, and welcome to another matchup in the Lily Crow tournament. Today we have Dad Bangers versus Team Gaslighters. Really exciting matchup here for us today. My name is DTM, and with me today, once again, is Happy Person 05. What's going on?
Hello. So far we have GSL hunting first and Dad Bangers surviving first. And so we have Femdrake as GSL's main hunter. So Femdrake is mostly known for their Bloody Queen, but we'll see what they have in store for us.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we've seen GSL play in quite a while. I know they are coming off of maybe a bit of a hiatus. It wasn't clear if they were continuing with competitive, but it seems like they are playing in this tournament. And yeah, like you said, there is definitely a BQ that Femdrake is known for. We're on Leo's memory, and BQ is probably okay on most maps, but definitely off meta. So it'll be really interesting to see if she does go with that BQ or if it ends up being something more meta like an Opera.
Mhm. Yeah, with Bloody Queen in this recent meta, it's very hard just to even sometimes tie with her. I feel like to be a very good Bloody Queen, you have to hit every single mirror, but since Opera and Ivy has come out, most hunters haven't really even focused on Bloody Queen to really be at that point where they can get those wins as Bloody Queen. But if Femdrake goes Bloody Queen and 4Ks, I'm gonna be very impressed.
Yeah, that'd definitely be really impressive. I feel like with BQ, it's someone who can 4 kill if they get a really fast comp. She can struggle a bit with that support if we end up seeing a lot of support from Team Dad Bangers. I think it's really gonna come down to what kind of comp it is, and if it's super heavy support, then maybe Femdrake will be better off playing like an Opera or an Ivy.
Yeah, so we see Femdrake actually banning Puppeteer and Toy Merchant. So Toy Merchant's a bit of an interesting ban, but it makes sense considering Toy Merchant's very strong on Leos, both in support and kiting. So I'm kind of expecting maybe something of the sort of Opera, considering Toy Merchant got banned. I believe like Bloody Queen isn't super countered by Toy Merchant, so I imagine it might be an Opera.
Yeah, it could be an Opera here. The catapult onto staircase is really strong. It, lets survivors get into factory really fast. And even for a hunter like Opera, it can be difficult to catch back off. We are going to see Gardener, Lawyer, and FO here from DB, so it's going to be a lot of, veterans boost characters that are strong against Opera. Just in general, characters that can kite. You have Lawyer with, broken windows usually and
Mhm.
Gardner will usually have a kiting build as well. And then there's going to be a cheerleader as well, so there's some support too in case we see a BQ.
Actually, maybe it might not be an Opera considering Femdrake did ban Mercenary, and generally the typical rescuer ban for Opera is between First Officer and Wildling.
Yeah, it's definitely unusual, but we also see a lot of these characters like cheerleader aren't too strong against Opera either. Opera doesn't really mind Lawyer either, although with his fast vaults and since he can't get terror shocked, he gets to go for really risky vaults that sometimes just lead to him never getting hit if Opera has trouble with her hitbox. So I think BQ is also pretty okay against this comp. It's really going to come down to what Femdrake feels really comfortable with here.
Definitely. I feel like I think Femdrake also played Naiad at one point. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I know that in China there, or maybe it was Japan, but there is this really good Bloody Queen, and she was utilized and in Arms Factory, and the lawyer actually brought Tide because generally you wouldn't really be able to kite much as a lawyer, even with broken windows against a good Bloody Queen. So we have a Bloody Queen. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, the BQ here is pretty interesting. I think if you're accurate with your mirrors and if you're careful playing around speed boosts, BQ is definitely good here. You just have to be careful, once you use your mirror, if you mirror and then cheerleader immediately takes a speed boost or lawyer takes a broken windows boost, that can lead to the mirror being wasted, and that's something you have to be careful for. Really interesting spawn here as well. FO is going to be right above BQ. Maybe she'll go for the cheerleader in middle, or maybe she'll just commit to a factory chase with the lawyer. We'll have to see what Femdrake feels like.
Yeah, I feel like in this team comp, Lawyer might be the most optimal chase for the Bloody Queen, considering Factory doesn't really even get isn't it's kind of countered by Bloody Queen. I know that when she was at her most like peak meta, people loved using her on Leo's memory, so especially to counter Factory. So
Yeah, that can definitely be a factor. If she's able to like use her mirror as she's going up the staircase, she can get early hits if the survivors aren't careful. And Lawyer here, even though Lawyer does the broken windows, he still doesn't have any other items to kite with. He doesn't need multiple hits either, like Gardner. So Lawyer might be the best chase here for Femdrake. We'll have to see. She's
yeah.
probably not going to go for the FO, so
Additionally, because cheerleaders spawning in middle, I'm hoping to see maybe some support from KT Cherub. Sorry, but the cheerleader in middle. Sorry.
no, you're good. I think cheerleader support early on would be really interesting. I really love seeing that aggressive cheerleader support. Against certain hunters, it can be really strong, and I think BQ just being a single hit hunter, she might have trouble dealing with it if her chase ends up getting 28 stacks. But
Yeah,
getting into
actually, oh, she's not going towards factory. She might actually be going towards the FO.
FO, I
Oh,
mean, maybe if she can mirror outside of the pocket watch range, but
yeah, I think right now she kind of just is wanting to force that first officer to use his watch. I think this was a little mistake on the first officer's part. In that pallet next to the water tank, I believe he should have dropped that down, forcing her to either break it or go around it, so then he wouldn't have been forced to use his watch.
yeah, this is really good for BQ. She got a watch out, and now she can just chase a Gardener who's almost losing her shield. She is gonna take a swing, but most likely wants to wait here because the shield should be going away in a few seconds, maybe before she makes this window.
Yeah, it just went away. Um, oh, it missed flywheel. I don't really think the flywheel was in a very good place in the first place, since even with that flywheel, I don't know where she could have really gone without avoiding a hit. But
Yeah,
we see that the Bloody Queen has Patroller, which is actually how kind of went more into the meta with Bloody Queen's usage in tournament. But yeah, we see Gardener dying on Cheerleader Cypher.
she is actually immediately gonna go for a patroller here. I would have expected her to use the patroller on FO, but she might be trying to line up a free mirror hit on this cheerleader. Let's see if she can actually hit it while cheerleader's stunned. It looks like she's a little bit off, unfortunate.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
get this. She does.
Yeah, I actually think the reason why she probably patrollered the cheerleader is simply because she knows that she's already going to get a hit on the first officer no matter what. So I think she just wants to add on or just have some additional pressure on the map by having cheerleader injured.
She actually does try to get the double hit as well, but FO used the watch there and was able to dodge the hit. But with the mirror up, she's going to be able to catch up really quickly to this Gardener. Unfortunately, having a little bit of trouble landing this, but is going to get it in the end. And there's no rebound from the Gardener right now. Femdrake has a lot of map pressure with all these injuries.
Mhm. Yeah, I think after the cheerleader flywheel, maybe she could have used her pom poms to avoid the mirror hit. But it's kind of unfortunate for the survivor team. I wonder how they can really get back, considering their ciphers are quite slow.
Yeah, their Cypher Rush is a little bit slow here, and they're gonna have to chase Cheerleader, or they're gonna have to heal Cheerleader. And FO actually, since FO has no watches right now. The advantage here is if they don't end up rescuing and they don't end up healing, she has a really easy chase. And if they do end up healing, that slows down their ciphers even more. So right now, Femdrake definitely is in a really dominant position. This could definitely turn into a win.
Yeah, I think cheerleader and FO can completely reset, considering Femfreak doesn't seem to know where anyone is besides the lawyer.
Yeah, but she is going to be heading towards the lawyer who doesn't have an item as well, and immediately hits a mirror as well. And plus, she's got Patroller up, so maybe she can use Patroller here to get a fast down on the lawyer.
Anything? She's just going to maybe use. I don't think she will use a patroller. I believe she might just save it for the rescue.
Yeah, that can be really strong since no one has FO doesn't have any watches. So using that patroller, and there's the hit through the pallet as well, getting an early down with no trait. And now she is going to be using that patroller most likely for camp, which can make it really difficult. She can really easily farm lawyer, and she has enough time to farm lawyer twice and just secure a 3 kill. So this is a really difficult position for the survivors.
Yeah, I think. Oh
Oh,
wow!
wow.
Finds out the first officer.
Yeah, that early hit on the FO, and now he can't make the rescue. This is definitely looking really strong now.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
there's
he's gonna have to come in.
the Bloody Queen sitting in a chair too.
Really, really nice emote there. Cool emote. And unfortunately, yeah, they might not. No, cheerleader is going to be coming in for the rescue, but it's going to be after half. And unfortunately, lawyer doesn't have any items. So this is
Yeah,
with
I
how full their ciphers are. This is looking like a 4 kill.
good flywheel on the cheerleader's part, but I believe she used both pom poms to get to the chair. I think maybe she could have saved them at least a little bit until she was closer to the chair to use them, just because it might be a little more difficult for her to have made that rescue. But I don't think Femdrake really wanted to double hit cheerleader. I think they just wanted to confirm the kill of the lawyer.
Yeah, definitely. Once Femdrake's in this position now where she has both injured and lawyer's dead. Now it's really easy for Femdrake. Unfortunately for the survivors, they're not really they don't have enough cipher progress to push for a one escape here.
Mhm.
Femdrake can kind of take as long as she wants to kill cheerleader and then slug and go for the FO. This is looking really dominant for this hunter.
Yeah, I would say that to kind of kite a Bloody Queen, you kind of have to match up your item usage to her mirror usage. But it seems that there's kind of almost a mismatch between survivors and Hunter not using the mirror, while survivors tended to use a lot of their ability just to avoid a normal hit.
Yeah, I think it's really unfortunate that with their picks, they ended up picking, Gardner and Lawyer, who maybe aren't the strongest against BQ. They don't have any items that can actually allow them to dodge a mirror or force BQ to waste her mirror. So, um, especially since Femdrake was able to stall out the Gardener's bubble while she was getting a watch from the FO2. That dominant early game, I think, really set her up for this 4 kill.
Yeah, argue that while Lawyer may not be the best pick, Gardener still is, considering they both are veteran characters. So their veteran speed boost actually usually should force the Bloody Queen to have to use a second mirror at the very least.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we saw that Gardner just give up a free hit, even with the veterans boost. Giving up the free hit without a mirror really, really makes it difficult to kite. And unfortunately, now it is going to be a patroller on this cheerleader. I believe cheerleader has no self heal now. So once Femdrake downs this cheerleader, all she has to do, and there's going to be the flywheel and the dash, but it's going to be canceled by the patroller, and she is going to be downed here. Unfortunately, no cipher progress here. They're still at 3 ciphers left, and FO is injured as well, and is going to be getting chased here. Once Femdrake finds FO, it looks like it's gonna be a 4 kill.
Yeah, we see Cheerleader without any self heal, and now the Bloody Queen has tinnitus. With that mirror retarget, she probably will find that FO soon.
Mhm. Yeah, now she is gonna be finding the FO here, most likely. Gonna check upstairs first just to make sure. She's not gonna find FO up here, but again, unless FO can somehow make it all the way to the cheerleader and pick her up, this match isn't gonna last very much longer. And even if he does do that, again, they don't have the ciphers to pull out a one escape here, unfortunately. FO does have a wand though, so maybe if by some miracle he can last until cheer bleeds out, it could maybe be a one escape.
I think the Bloody Queen should have a general idea of where the FO is, but it seems that she keeps missing her mirror.
Yeah, she's outside of her range on the rotation too, but I think she's gonna see him here.
Mhm.
Yeah, there it is. And she has Patroller up as well. I think she can also trump card to blink if she really wants to.
Oh, and we see the FO using his decoy without controller or mirror.
Yeah, unfortunate, but now it is going to be the mirror, and FO does go down, and that is going to be the 4 kill for Femdrake here. She's going to switch to Warp, maybe go for the cheer here. I mean, I think Femdrake knows the cheer is no self-heal, so all she really has to do is just chair FL, and then wait for cheer to bleed out, but the
Does
survivors don't feel like surrendering. We might drag this
yeah.
out a bit.
I don't think the Bloody Queen knows where dungeon is, so maybe his plan is to stay near the dungeon, but I don't really think it's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna have enough time to find dungeon even after she chairs FO. And besides cheer, oh, that's the self-heal, and now they don't really have any options. I'm not sure self-healing in front of the hunter there was the best play, but yeah, now really she can just sit on FO. And that is gonna be the surrender.
Great job to Fem Jake for getting that 4K.
Yeah, that was a really great match from that BQ. Again, it's not the worst comp against BQ, but I think that early game with the wasted watch, the fast down on Gardner, and then the free hit on Cheerleader, those things together just gave her an overwhelming advantage, I think.
Now we're gonna be seeing round one, match two with um, sorry, Dad Makers as the hunter. So I'm excited for that.
Is his name Dadbanger? That's the name of their hunter?
Isn't that the name of the team?
That's the name of the team. I don't know if their hunter is also named Dadbanger. That'd be
Oh
really,
no, I
really
said
funny.
Dad Banker's hunter.
Yes. Oh, I see what you mean now. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure who their hunter is. We'll have to see, but definitely a lot of pressure on Team Dadbangers here. Unfortunately, the survivors did get 4 killed. So to keep things even here, the hunter is gonna want to push for a 4 kill as well. We'll have to see what kind of hunter Team DB can pull out here.
I mean, honestly, GSL did do a very bold meta pick with the Bloody Queen, so I wonder if DV will pick the current meta hunter or maybe something similar to Bloody Queen.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to what their hunter feels comfortable with, of course. You can't always just pick Opera and hope for the best, but like we saw with Femdrake's match just now, if you pick a hunter that you're really comfortable with and you have a strong mastery over, even if they're more like a draw hunter, it can really be successful if the survivors aren't like really prepared to deal with that specific hunter. So maybe a specialty hunter could succeed here.
It seems I was looking inside the team intros, and Dad Bankers actually has three potential hunters. So
Wow.
it's Chloe IDV, Lily, and then a dual faction player whose name is Raid, I believe. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they have in store for us.
Mhm. Yeah, it's actually really interesting. I'm not sure if I recognize any of those hunters, but I'm sure all of them are really skilled. So DB definitely have their pick here on who they want to have play. It'll be really interesting to see what they go for here. We should be seeing the players come in now. I would like to see an Ivy, honestly. We haven't seen any Ivy so far.
Yeah, I feel like with NAEU, since Ivy is basically permabanned, it's very hard to actually know how to play her and practice her in rank now.
Yeah, that's true. It was the same thing with Opera before Ivy came out, and now Ivy is always banned. Hopefully, once Goatman drops, he'll be perma-banned and people can actually play Ivy. But
Yeah,
if you have consistent practices with your team in 1v1s, you can definitely get a pretty good Ivy.
for sure. I totally agree. Okay, so now we're seeing GSL coming in. We have Abby is my wife, and
That's
then
a good thing.
um BB. I cannot read the Chinese, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
That one's Abby.
And then Nibsonary and Zeus IDV underscore YouTube. So
Yo,
let's see
yeah.
it.
The Merc main I believe is Pearl, so Gonna be really fun to
Hmm.
see. This is a pretty strong survivor lineup we have. These guys do have tournament experience. So I think GSL are gonna be able to put up a really good fight against this Dad Bangers Hunter. Really interesting to see what kind of. I really want to see the Hunter, man. Maybe Ivy, maybe Opera.
Yeah, I believe GSL was in IVT, correct?
Yeah, I think they did register. I'm not sure if they made it to the round of 8 though.
I see. Well, I know that they've been a team for quite a long time. I think going back to a previous conversation we had, you mentioned that you thought GSL may have disbanded or stopped competing in tournaments, and I thought so as well. But now we're seeing them in Lily Crow, so we're thankful to have them here.
Yeah, it's definitely really cool to see them make a comeback. I have talked to some of their players, and they did mention that they were mostly doing this for fun and more of a casual. So they're not gonna be, maybe not taking this like as seriously as they would KOA or IDV, but clearly they can still put in some pretty good work, as we just saw from their hunter. So
Sure. Yeah, I know that Drake has actually been a player for quite a long time. Maybe prior to even season 10, if I'm thinking correctly. We see that she has the Buddy Queen S tier skin, so I know that they must be an old player.
yeah, if that is her account, that would be really impressive. But yeah, if she did actually pull that herself, then that would be a pretty old account. Like, when did that skin come out anyway? Was that like season
Um,
7 or something?
I believe it was season 7, yes.
It
I didn't
wasn't
even play
season
that.
7? Yeah,
This
I
is
didn't. I
mhm.
think I started playing in like season 14 or something.
Oh, really? I started playing like season 12. It's been 4 years. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Season. Who was season 12? Who came out that season?
Season 12, I don't remember. Okay, I don't remember who came out, but I remember the essence because I remember the first skin I pulled was the Joseph fencing skin, and I was so mad. But I got that one. And so I
Actually,
think
yeah,
it was, mhm,
I think I
yeah.
remember that. No, I remember when I started playing, the Logic Path skin was the Ripper one, and I didn't get it. So whichever season
Oh,
that was.
no, I kind of I know what you're saying. I remember I started playing on this season of Mechanics Logic Path skin, so Candy Girl, but I didn't get it, unfortunately. So
Yeah, so that would be season 12. Okay, the more you know. Okay.
the more I know, yeah.
That is a really long time. Um,
It yeah, I can't believe it's like season what, 33? That's wild to me.
is it really season in the 30s now? That is
Definitely in the
really.
30s, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we do actually see the Team Dad Bangers Hunter here. And looking at their profile, they have a C badge for Feaster. So, man, a
Okay.
Feaster gameplay would be pretty crazy, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
What's crazy is when I was talking about maybe we might see a surprise pick from Diebankers, I actually thought of Feaster because what's more non-meta than Feaster? So I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, Feaster would be interesting. I mean, he does kind of suck, which is the downside, but if you're I mean, if the players aren't prepared for the Feaster, and if they walk into tentacles too much, he can definitely be pretty strong. And if he can
Yeah.
get basement camp too, basement camp with Feaster is really scary. So I think GSL are gonna have to be really careful of how they route their kites and stuff to avoid that, and how they rescue, to be careful about giving up double hits.
Yeah, for sure. I think the best part of Feaster is that he can easily double hit the rescuers. So I also think that GSL should really tread with caution when rescuing because a double hit may really change the outcome of the game.
Yeah, that's usually how Feaster wins his matches. If he can get a fast down and then a double hit, that really helps with the map pressure. I mean, like we saw from the Femdrake match, she got a fast down and then she got an extra injury on the cheerleader, and that gave her a ton of momentum. So those
Mhm.
extra injuries you really got to be careful about. But moving on to these picks and bans, it is going to be Merc and Priestess here. Definitely more standard than what we saw from Fendrick.
Actually, I remember when I would rank a lot and get Feaster a lot, and typically Priestess and Merc would be the go-to bans.
Wow. I mean, that makes sense with Merc's strong rescuing, and he can elbow pad right after he rescues too, so it can be difficult to get the double down. So maybe it really is going to be a feaster here. Did they forget to lock or what's going on? No, they're trolling.
Oh wow, they're about to pull an MST. I'm excited. I hope
Oh,
they pull the same comp.
yeah, I sure hope they don't bring out the MST comp. No, it looks like it's gonna be Cord. And Cord at least is very meta, really strong first pick here, and then they're also gonna get the Seer here. Nope, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I believe Zeus IDV mains Seer, and we would probably see Cord maybe getting picked by either Happy is my wife or Nibsonary.
Yeah, for sure. Now it's gonna be an Acrobat ban who is really strong here. And it looks like they're gonna go for the Embalmer here, trying to play for that draw. Embalmer definitely a really strong character for getting draws, especially against Feaster. You can rescue himself off chair, no risk for a double hit. So I think Embalmer's a great pick here.
Yeah, I think Embalmer might be the best pick for Feaster, especially since Femtrick already got that 4K. So now, just to win this round, they only need to get one person out.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe it was a bit of a mistake to not ban the Embalmer. I mean, Acrobat's still a good ban, but this is now going to be really difficult for a Feaster here, especially with the support from the Owl and the gun as well. It's also going to be a Psychologist ban, and then they're going to lock in a Cheerleader, so really support heavy comp.
I totally agree. I hope to see maybe some more teamwork since GSL's been a team for so long.
Yeah, definitely. I think they have a lot of options for support. I mean, you don't really want to chase any of these guys with Owl, especially like Embalmer's probably going to be in Factory, and that's not fun. And then Feaster can struggle with transitional characters like Cord and Cheerleader who can make distance. So I think it's really difficult to have a chase here, and then you have to deal with the Embalmer coffin too. It could be difficult for this hunter.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what Lily has in store for us because maybe she might just not go Feaster, especially with this team comp.
Yeah, I think maybe I mean I love specialty picks as much as the next guy, but I think Feaster's a little bit too out there. At least BQ is considered like a strong meta pick, at least a little bit, but you know,
I would
Feaster
say,
not quite the same.
yeah, Bloody Queen is much better than Feaster currently in this meta because the issue with Feaster is he can get kited. Meanwhile, a good Bloody Queen, if she doesn't miss her mirror, it's very hard to dodge it.
Yeah, I mean BQ's always been known as that character that always gets fast downs, very difficult to kite. And I mean even with the current meta with all the support,
Oh my
um
god, we're seeing a. Oh,
no way. Clown? Dream Witch? Dream Witch could work here.
Lily
Oh
is
no,
picking
okay.
every single hunter. Oh my god.
They're thinking about the photo. They're really thinking about it.
Yeah. Oh,
Ivy.
wow, we're
Okay.
seeing an Ivy. You got your Ivy, DTM.
Yeah. He called it. Let's go. I think Ivy's definitely better here than some of those other picks.
For sure. I actually think I don't know if I'm correct in this, but Lily may be an S badge Ivy. I'm
Really?
not sure. I'm really not sure, but I think I was looking at the leaderboard one time, and I think I might have saw someone named Lily on it. I'm not entirely sure, but who knows? At least we get to see some gameplay with her.
Yeah, I think Ivy is so strong, honestly, even after the nerfs. I think Ivy can succeed here. Ivy's
Yeah,
not going to have as much trouble chasing an Embalmer or a Seer, so if she can get a fast down here, I think she's going to be able to snowball even with all the support.
yeah, for sure. I actually think though that this team comp is still pretty Ivy counterable, if that makes sense. I think with Embalmer, he kind of just delayed like really dying on people's ciphers or forcing the rescue to even rescue. So I think Ivy might actually be still kind of difficult to win on this comp.
Yeah, that's a good point here. Especially looking at these builds, we see a suicide build on coordinator, and then we also have two flywheels, which are really good. And plus with the spawn, they're doing the four corner spawn against Ivy, which makes it much more difficult for her to pressure ciphers while she's chasing. So I think
Yeah,
GSL are prepared for this Ivy.
yeah, and weirdly enough, we see Embalmer spawning in Christmas tree area.
Yeah, and Balmer might have some trouble kiting there. You'd think maybe they'd put him closer to factory.
Yeah, I would imagine that maybe Cheerleader would have switched spawns with Embalmer.
Hmm. Yeah, in that case, we might see an Embalmer chase here, but the good news for them is even if he gets chased, he can rescue himself. And so as long as he can make some distance with that broken windows, he's still going to be able to rebound potentially.
For sure. Hopefully, with the usage of Zeus's owl, he can get very far away from his coffin, maybe even transitioning to factory. But the issue is that I'm already kind of seeing is with the way these spawns are, we see either Zeus's or Cheerleader's cipher being locked, so that may cause maybe counter rotations into one another.
Mhm. Yeah, if they're not careful with how their ciphers are locked, we have seen that before that early game rotations, if you're not really careful, they can really easily go wrong if you rotate into each other and if you're not efficient with which ciphers you're decoding at the start of the match. So
Yeah,
they're gonna have to be
especially
really.
with Ivy, since she can
Mhm.
easily just leech onto the person that's looking for a cipher.
Yeah, definitely. You have to be really careful when you're playing against an Ivy. Now, it does look like Ivy is going to be going for that Embalmer. Should be seeing the coffin here and sees the blood trails as well, so it is going to be an Embalmer chase.
Yeah, I think maybe she might not go for it. Oh, she's going for the coordinator. I
Looks like
think she
she
just
just
wanted to
wanted to.
prevent Embalmer from decoding.
Yeah, really great job of pressuring the ciphers here, but unfortunately, Cord does have Factory, so this might still be a long kite.
Miss scare on the main body, but I think with the leech on the coordinator, it's kind of a guaranteed hit. Oh, I don't know why she dropped,
Yeah, I thought
but
she'd
it
be able
might
to
work
get.
out.
Yeah, really think she could have gotten that hit there. Maybe playing her on gun, but I think she's being a little bit too cautious here.
Yeah, I do think that maybe it was kind of unnecessary for her to have dropped down because it's just kind of giving the coordinator free kiting time.
Yeah, especially since Coordinator can take a broken Windows boost now, so Cord is gonna have a lot of distance, but this could also be a blink here. So she can blink and then get the but
Oh,
she goes
wow!
for the hunter.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a big mistake on the chord's part. And now and the owl's used.
Yeah, really good owl there to reset the fear, and now Cord is gonna be able to get her gunshots, so this could still actually be a pretty long kite and
Oh
misses
no,
the
Miss
blink.
Blink!
Ooh,
I
yeah,
think that blink was a little too risky. I think she could have waited a little bit longer to have used it because this Miss Blink might just cost her the game.
yeah, because she still has gun. This Cord is still going to be able to shoot the Ivy, which is going to let her rotate even further with her broken windows. So even with Toxic running into the Hunter, unfortunately, this is still a really long kite just because he's been effectively using Factory here. Oh,
And
but does
now
get
the court's
find.
dead. Yeah, I think maybe they can use the gun for the after the rescue, but generally a good rule of thumb for coordinator is to use the gun prior to the first chair so that there's not as much, I guess, stress on the rescue, especially after the Ivy missed her blink. I think that would have been a prime time to use the gun.
Yeah, it's definitely a really aggressive play, but if they get the body block off and if Toxic doesn't immediately get farmed, he can definitely use the gun to go for a rebound, and right now their Cypher progress is really good. The only issue is I don't know if they have a tide.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I That's actually there's no tide in this map, besides coordinator.
Yeah, and coordinator also does not have borrowed time, so that's something we have to be careful for as well. But
Oh, good
be
support
cheated
on the
for.
cheerleader's part. We see her instantly using her chair after the rescue.
Yeah, and there is a coffin as well on the coordinator. So right now this cord has a lot of resources to kite with here, but does miss her
Miss
gun.
Gun!
Oh, that's unfortunate. But there is going to be a coffin as well, so cord might still be able to last long enough for the ciphers to pop.
Actually, I don't really think they have a fifth cipher. Their only fifth cipher is 17%.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And also, Cord still doesn't have borrowed time, so even if the cipher's prime, she won't pick up when it goes off. Right now, their only hope is maybe stalling and making Cord hide somewhere where the hunter can't find her.
Yeah, we see Lily kind of trying to scour the map for the coordinator. The coordinator picked up the syringe that the embalmer got out of the chest and she's healing herself. So if she manages to heal herself before, I think she might be able to heal herself. Oh my
Wow,
god.
yeah, the missed teleport, but she does get the pallet slam.
Oh
What
wow,
blink?
Lily just blinks. That was a crucial blink in this match. That kind of honestly saved Lily's game. I think now that with this down, she's in a much better position to maybe even win.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, we know how strong Ivy's endgame really is. She can pressure multiple ciphers and both exit gates. And she does have an injury to work with here as well. And plus, Seer has no items, no owl to work with, so this might be a fast down on Zeus.
Mhm.
Ooh,
And we know
unfortunately,
that
for Seer.
Seer. Oh, nice pallet stun on Zeus, but we know that Seer actually doesn't have BT as well, so that might go against that might hinder their possible tie.
Does Seer not have BT?
He has broken windows and flywheel.
Oh, I did not realize that. Yeah, that's actually going to be pretty difficult for them.
Mhm.
But they do have a bunch of ciphers almost finished, so as long as
Yeah.
they can finish these ciphers before Seer goes down, yeah, they are going to pop immediately here. But Seer's at 78 fear, so he's going to be going down really quickly. Yeah, he just
Good.
went down.
Good hit on the Ivy. Yeah, I think if she manages to just share the seer, give her leech, and then teleport to the Moongate octagon, she might be in a good position. But it seems she's just bringing her leech to factory. I feel like this is kind of a mistake on the Ivy's part. I think she should just teleport to Moongate 3 Palette.
But she is going to be able to immediately find the cheerleader who manages to not get stunned barely. If she can down this cheerleader before she makes it to dungeon, this still will be a 3 kill, which will
Yeah,
even the score at least a little bit here. Is cheerleader going to be able to make it to that dungeon?
no,
Doesn't look
she's
like
not.
it.
Yeah, I think that a major issue was that if since Dad Banger's Survivor side got 4K, I think Lily should have played a little bit more aggressively and maybe left her leech to spawn camp this year, and then she teleports to Moongate to then prevent the gate from being decoded and also prevent the cheerleader from rescuing with this leech being at her this year's chair.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Ivy is one of the few hunters that can be in multiple places at once, and if she does do that, like leaving her Yithian at the chair and then manually pressuring the gate, I think she can do a good job of stopping the gate from opening, and she might be able to push for a 4 kill like that. Unfortunately, the Ivy did go for a more passive strategy, like you said, and that did end up leading to a 3 kill. So not a bad performance at all from the Ivy. But unfortunately, they are going to be going down in points in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm honestly super impressed with how Lily played, considering her team doesn't seem to have. I haven't seen her team in previous tournaments, but GSL has been a competitive team for quite a while, so good performance on both sides.
Yeah, for sure. I think both hunters definitely did really well. Both with the BQ and then with the Ivy, I think we saw, as usual, pretty dominant performances from the hunter. Although GSL survivors did really put up a good fight. I think even with some unfortunate mistakes in the early game, Toxic's kite was really good. And just I think maybe a little bit lacking support, maybe, unfortunately. Cord was going down really fast after she got found. Maybe if the item that Embalmer got wasn't a syringe, maybe if it was like a watch or a elbow pad, maybe she could have kited longer. But unfortunately, she didn't have that.
Yeah, I think there were times where maybe she could have finished the heal. It seemed like she might have wanted to bait the Ivy at some points in time to think she's not being healed. But I don't know. I feel like she could have had the chance to finish the heal.
Yeah, it was most likely really close, but we couldn't see the progress bar. It was a really nice pallet slam as well, but just not enough time, unfortunately. I think if she did finish the heal, though, they definitely would have had a winning position there.
Yeah, also, I verified if Lily was an S batch Ivy, and she actually is. She's in the 6th place right now in leaderboard.
Wow,
So
go
yeah.
figure. Yeah, so that definitely shows a lot of experience with the character.
Mhm.
Or at least as much as experience as you can get when she's always banned in rank. But yeah, definitely a good showing from the Ivy. Unfortunately, maybe just not quite aggressive enough. But if DB can make a comeback in the second round with some strong performances, they're definitely still in this match. I don't think the point lead is too overwhelming. What is it like 5
The
to
point lead right now should be, if
6 to
it's
3?
following IVT point style, it should be 2 points considering we see. Oh wait, actually, does it add up on both sides?
Yeah, it's gonna be 6-3.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, definitely not the worst point lead for sure. 6-3, it's a lead, but if DB can get maybe some four escapes or some four kills in the second and third rounds, they can really come back from that.
Yeah, I'm
It'll be really
really looking
interesting to see.
forward to seeing Dad Bangers come back in the next round.
Yeah, for sure. I think they can definitely put in some work. Do we know what map we're going to now?
I believe they might be choosing still. I'm looking in their team channel and I see pictures of nails.
Nail,
Wow,
wow. Good taste. Good for them. Yeah, I think
they're
we
cute.
are waiting on the map ban right now.
Yeah, so I think right now they're just trying to sub in people or.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, it seems that we're gonna see EB choose a new hunter for the next round. So we're going to be seeing Chloe instead of Lily.
Oh, that'll be really interesting. I guess Lily was an Ivy main, so now they're gonna have a different hunter for the second round then. I wonder if GSL know anything about this hunter.
That definitely makes sense. Yeah, so right now they're just picking their map. Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, I think the map ban should be interesting. I think DB might wanna maybe go for a hunter that gives advantage to their hunter. Or I'm sorry, they should go for a map that will help out their hunter, but they do actually end up banning arms here.
Hey, GSL is the one picking the map.
Yeah. I guess their hunter must not like arms. Maybe they play wheel or wax artist or something.
For sure. I think also, I believe if Femdrake is continuing to hunt, most of their are most of the hunters in their arsenal get kind of are kind of super good on arms factor.
Really? What other hunters does Femdrake play? I'm not sure.
I so obviously Bloody Queen, but we might actually be seeing a Bloody Queen ban soon enough. And I believe Naiad. I think Femdrake was Espage Naiad.
That would be really interesting. Naiad is a bit of a draw hunter who really fell off. She used to be a lot more popular, but her camp is really good. And if the survivors aren't like prepared to rescue off of her, she can actually pick up some pretty easy stuff. So it'll be interesting to see that. It looks like we are going to be going to Moonlit though, and it looks like GSL are going to be hunting first.
And we see DB choosing GSL to hunt first.
Yeah, looks like it. So we are gonna get to find out pretty soon what else Femdrake actually does play. Naiad would be really interesting. She definitely can do well on Moonlit. She can use her harpoon to cut off pretty big areas. Counter maybe like first stop or fourth stop if she wants to chase there.
Yeah, for sure. I think definitely Nyan may be a good pick for this map, but we kind of have seen Nyan fall out of meta. I just as you said previously, but who knows? Just as Femdrake played Bloody Queen for the first round in the tournament, we might be seeing a Naiad second round.
Yeah, I think the big issue with Naiad, compared to BQ, Naiad's main issue is that she kind of struggles with chase. If you get support and if you're able to rotate away from the areas that Naiad cuts off, I think Naiad can really struggle with getting that first down even with her strong camp. So it'll if it is a Naiad, it's going to be a really strong test of how good DB's support is.
Definitely, I think also with Naiad, without presence, her map pressure is really poor. She can't
hmm
really get anywhere super fast, so it's gonna kind of force her to probably stay on the first target she finds.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Unfortunately, before she gets her dashes, she can't really move around really quickly. She is most likely going to be going for that fast down so she can put her camp to use, but um, I don't know. I think Nide would be really cool, but this is also a strong map for Opera as well, so maybe Femdrake does have an Opera.
Yeah, honestly, we might be seeing an opera, but yeah, we might actually be seeing an opera, and we might be seeing DB ban Femdrake's Bloody Queen.
Yeah, it definitely has to be a BQ ban here. You always want to get rid of their specialty.
Mhm.
Really
Yeah, I mean,
interesting. I think the global bans too, Gardner and Lawyer isn't a big deal here. I think DB have a lot of like really strong support options. Maybe they can go for like a toy merchant, Acro and Patient are really strong hiders as well. So they have a lot of options here.
yeah, we see DB actually has quite a diverse tier range in their team. We see an Elk 1, Mammoth 2, and Griffin 2 and Griffin 1.
Yeah. If they can, that doesn't mean that they're bad though, for sure. If they can put together a little bit of a longer first kite here. I think unfortunately Femdrake was just able to overwhelm them round one, but without the BQ, they might have an easier time with that kite.
Sure. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how it goes. I'm really wondering what Drake also has in their arsenal. I'm looking at their profile, and though they don't have like much open, I see that in their collect they have the Naiads S tier as well. So we might be seeing an S tier Naiad skin soon enough.
Yeah, the Naiad S tier, the Halberd of Silence skin. They might be a very committed Naiad main if they have that skin too.
Okay,
Um,
so we see Drake asking, "Can I wear an A tier skin?" Yes, you can. I mean,
yeah, I think one of the DB players was complaining about lag because of the was she wearing the SS tier skin the first round or was it Bloodbath?
no, she was wearing the S Bloody Queen skin, which is Bloodbath, and the SS accessory.
Gotcha. Yeah, that will hurt. So, um, at least Femdrake gets to bring an A tier, I guess. So maybe she has the Naiad A tier. Must be.
We see a Bloody Queen ban from the DB survivors.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Priestess Merc as well. I think that's really good bans from Femdrake here. Merc is really strong on this map because he can move around the map really quickly with his elbow pads, and Priestess on this map is kind of a nightmare to deal with.
Yeah, just as Merc is strong on this map, I would also agree that, or I would also say that Wildling is very good on this map as well because it's a large map and he can easily traverse it with a rechargeable ability. So, but because it may be a Naiad, we might not see a Wildling get picked and instead possibly opt for a Gravekeeper if they want to really go hard counter on the Naiad.
Yeah, that's definitely an option for them. We also see the novelist and the embalmer, and I think both of those characters are really strong against Naiad. You know, embalmer, we just saw that embalmer's coffin can be really good for moving characters way across the map. And if embalmer gets chased, you don't have to risk his stuff because he can just rescue himself. And they're also going to get the FO as well, not going for that wildling like you said, but at least FO probably can't get chased or stuffed, most likely.
For sure. Um, I'm kind of curious why they're playing novelist actually. Yeah, I think that's definitely a more specialty pick for the survivor side, but I'm kind of excited to see this novelist gameplay.
Yeah, they do get the acrobat. Unfortunately, Fembreg didn't ban out the acrobat, went for the cheerleader and the antiquarian instead. So acrobat, even for a strong chase hunter, like even if Naiad brings warp, acrobat is just so difficult to chase. So maybe gonna be going for that embalmer who has no items, or maybe taking their chances with the novelist.
Yeah, I think the main strategy right now should just be trying to find one fast decoder, and I think maybe novelist or acrobat. I think novelist actually might be the most optimal target for the from Drake. So I believe spawn points right now kind of is mattering a lot right in this situation.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna see acrobat at fourth stop most likely. So you'll probably chase whoever spawns at two-story, which is gonna be either embalmer or novelist. They probably put embalmer at first stop, so maybe they'll chase a novelist at corner house.
Corner house, do you mean two story?
Or yeah, two-story, that one. The one with two stories. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I imagine that as well. I actually think they could maybe kind of predict that rotation or that spawn into something contrary. But yeah, I do feel like novelists may just go two story. Hmm.
And we are gonna see an
Wow,
opera here.
bro.
Yeah, it looks like it is gonna be the opera. I think opera's really good here. Definitely a stronger chase than Naiad, and Opera at least is going to be better at chasing things like a novelist or maybe an acrobat. So I think Opera here could definitely work out really well.
Yeah, I would argue that DB actually picked very well considering they may have thought it was an opera singer. While Novelist may not be the best pick against opera, one thing about opera is that her palette stun recovery is quite slow, so if Novelist can manage to use his metaphor and consistently get those palette stuns, we might be seeing a long kite from the Novelist, and Novelist is actually spawning fourth stop, giving Acrobat two story.
Yeah, this is definitely unusual. You do usually see the acrobat at fourth stop. Maybe Femdrake will think that acrobat at corner house or sorry at two stories is easier to chase. We also see multiple suicide builds. Yeah, both Novelist and Embalmer have flywheel and broken windows. So they're definitely actually going to be pretty strong kiters even against an opera singer. Maybe we can see a long kite here.
Yeah, we actually see Acrobat with only flywheel and borrowed time. So in this situation, Acrobat may be a better chase than the novelist. But regardless, I believe that spawning two story, one can either choose to kite God Kite or even rotate towards first up because I believe with this spawn, Embomber Cipher is locked already, so it won't be really disrupting Embomber Cipher progress if you were to immediately transition to first up.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting if we could see a play like that. Taking the coaster straight to third stop from first stop is really strong, and even for someone like Opera, it can get you some distance and allow you to transition to a stronger area like fourth stop. I mean, if Acrobat could go all the way to fourth stop, then he's going to be able to kite really long, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of route he goes for.
Yeah, I can kind of already imagine how. Oh, he's not even going for the acrobat. He's going for the novelist.
Yeah, I guess Opera thinks that Novelist is actually easier to chase here, so
This accessory is quite cool, and it seems like they may have lost sight of the novelist.
They should be able to find him here, though. Novelist is going to pre-slam one of these pallets. He wants to be careful about doing that, though, because he does need an open pallet to stun the hunter. He's going to be taking a speed boost here, though.
Yeah, I think this round is kind of interesting. I feel like maybe putting down the pallet at fourth stop and then vaulting it for the speed boost would have been a little bit more optimal because when else would you be able to really utilize a pallet boost without giving a hit?
Yeah, I mean, maybe if he could have gotten an extra
Oh,
loop around in the
he canceled Opera Singer's dash, forcing her to use the Shadow Dance, but he failed the mind game at the pallet.
Yeah, I mean, when Novelist is forced to use his ability and not get a pallet stun, that kind of hurts. You really always want to be getting that pallet stun.
No, I
Unfortunately,
would
that's really
actually
fast down.
Mhm. Yeah, I would actually argue though that using his ability mid dash for Opera Singer cancels her dash, which forces her to go into cooldown. So I do think that usage of that metaphor was actually quite good. I think the issue was just failing the mind game at the palette.
Yeah, unfortunately, he just doesn't really have a lot of options with that palette, so not getting the mind game is unfortunate. And FO
Good
actually gets
rescue
caught out of
on
that.
first officer. We
Oh,
oh
failed dash though.
using that flywheel. I think with this oh,
Failed
and the
blink?
blink is used.
He does get it,
Right
yeah.
now, the novelist just needs to leave, but it seems like he's purposefully dying on the acrobat cipher.
Yeah, that wasn't a very long rebound, unfortunately. Even with the missed dash, maybe it would have been nice if he could have rebounded a little longer, but it doesn't look like he has any more pages. So, and now without any tides, this might be a really fast down here once he gets rescued again, if they go for another rescue.
Yeah, I think that with Opera, she doesn't really care too much if um the survivors save late, as long as she can just really farm them. Oh, we see Acrobat utilizing his fireball, but he landed on her, so it's an 8-second fireball. I don't
Yeah,
really
and we are also gonna see the down on Acrobat as well. But is Novelist actually gonna make it here to this window?
don't think so. It's a little too yeah. The full presence opera and then going above traversing two story, it's kind of just too difficult for novelists to even gain any distance. So I don't really think that acrobat body block was worth it.
Yeah, unfortunately, in this corner house area,
Oh, we
Topper
see
just
acrobat pick himself
fast.
up.
Yeah, that was actually really fast. And Acrobat might be able to kite a little bit before he goes down again.
Yeah, we see the last cipher kind of reaching 50. As long as this acrobat can maybe last, we can hopefully see this tie.
Oh, and unfortunately, no scarf there either, so Opera's dash is gonna go on cooldown and
Oh,
doesn't get
miss
her hit through the
swing.
pallet. She was too
I
far, she backed up.
think, yeah, I think maybe we can kind of see the novelty, or not novelty, but the maybe inexperience Femdrake may have with opera singer with that hitbox.
Yeah, really unfortunate. We also see her,
Cypher is
going
blind.
into slow bomb, but he is gonna go down here. But the cipher's
Yeah,
finished, yeah.
yeah. I think the pop was a little bit too slow for him to have instantly made the coaster, but it seems like he's just trying to kite around the coaster and hopefully get on. Can he get on? He can get on, but so can the opera. Oh, never
Oh,
mind.
he gets air shocked.
Wow.
I
I'm
can't
honestly
actually
a
make
little
it. He
surprised that
immediately
hit.
teleports.
Oh, the opera singer knows that the opera singer knows that acrobat does not have self heal. Oh,
Oh,
and the acrobat can now heal the embalmer can now heal the acrobat, which is really good play on their part.
yeah, that coffin is really clutch. Now Embalmer can heal the Acrobat, and it looks like Femdrake is actually trying to push here, but she misses another dash. FO's opening back gate, and front gate isn't going to be quite open in time, but I think
Oh,
this is looking like a draw here.
I feel like Dad Bankers is kind of almost messing up their game. I think in this situation, one of the embalmer should be on the gate and acrobat should be kind of running towards the other gate, but It seems like there's a little bit of maybe miscommunication. We
Yeah,
see
but
the acrobat taking the coaster and actually leaving the dungeon area.
however, Femdrake is still having a little bit of trouble finding a chase, and she doesn't have her
Oh,
dash. This could actually be a
yeah.
three escape. Femdrake
I
isn't
think this
close to
might
the
be
game.
the escape. Good job to Dad Bangers.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. I think
Yeah, I
maybe Femdrake got a bit nervous. She started missing a lot of dashes, unfortunately.
yeah, I think the main issue was she may have just gotten a little too greedy. I believe if anything, she could have forced a chair or yeah, see, this is like the reason why Embalmer is just so good because him spawning that coffin at first stop allowed them to get this 3 escape.
Yeah, I think that teleport there is definitely really greedy. I think maybe if Femdrake had a chance, I'm not sure if she did see the coffin, but you do have to keep in mind that the coffin exists and that if you use your teleport and the coffin's, on the other side of the map, now you're out of resources. So I think sharing the acrobat would have been a lot more safe and would have guaranteed a draw at least.
Yeah. I would have also thought that if she really wanted that 4K, she should have pressured the first officer a little bit more and then gone over to the other side of the map. Just because it seemed like the Embalmer and Acrobat were kind of almost hesitant to do first stop.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just really unfortunate the acrobat was able to self heal in time. If Opera was able to get an extra chair on the acrobat, I think she would have had a much easier time in endgame.
I completely agree, but also I think another huge error on Femdrake's part was not seeing the coaster being utilized and instead kind of just staying at second stop because Opera Singer is so fast that during the coaster being used from second stop to third stop, she should have been able to reach and get that acrobat off of it.
Yeah, I think towards the end game, I think unfortunately Femdrake just didn't really know where to go, and she did spend a lot of time near that first stop slash second stop area. She definitely maybe could have still gotten a draw, unfortunately, if she took a better route in the end game. Really unfortunate, especially with a bit of a strong early game on that novelist. Really shame to see that three escape happen.
This third escape, we might be seeing as long as DB's Hunter just gets what is it? Another three escape, they would be tied, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, actually, if the hunter gets a four kill, then they'll actually take the lead here. So that would be a really big reversal here for Team Dad Bangers if they can actually
Yeah.
take the lead.
Yeah, hats off to Dad Bangers for being able to kind of just even in this stressful kind of situation, they still pulled through and managed to get that the survivor escape.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. I think what happens if GSL draw, then is it tied up?
Um
Yeah, if they get two out. Okay, so the points would be tied up. Ballsy
yeah,
the mathematician, nice.
6-3.
GSL would be
Yeah.
ahead.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, if GSL survivors can actually get a draw here, then I mean they'd still be ahead on points. So maybe we can see another embalmer pick from GSL.
Yeah, they would be 9-8. I just did the math.
Oh, nice, good job.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for what GSL survivors have in store for us now.
Yeah, I think GSL survivors are really strong. They're definitely capable of covering for their hunter when things don't go as well. So maybe if we can see an embalmer pick, I think it would be really smart for DB's hunter to actually ban embalmer. So I don't know if GSL want to take out like a mechanic or some other fast order or something, but that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what Chloe has in store for us. It seems like Dad Bankers Hunters are kind of maybe not underrated, but we haven't really heard much of them. So I'm kind of like thinking, what can we see now? I think
I
because they
mean,
probably wanted Lily for her Ivy, now we're probably going to see a less meta character.
yeah, I think a less meta character would be really interesting. Maybe something like a wheel. I think Opera and Ivy are still really strong though.
Yeah, for sure. We might be seeing an opera, but I believe that if Chloe is coming in, I think it just kind of depends on what GSL knows about Chloe. I wonder if they've done their research. Yeah.
Sorry about that again.
No worries.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Looks like the survivors are getting in here though, so we should be getting into the picks and bans shortly.
Oh wow. I think Abby just told you something in the GSL chat. I just
That
realized that I'm in the GSL chat instead of the commentator chat. But yeah.
Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Abby. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, moving on to these picks. We also see Seer and Cord are permabanned here. I think they definitely still have that embalmer. It is a shame that they don't have Seer, but I mean Seer would really help if they can get like an Acrobat too, and then some other strong hiders who are even stronger with Owl. But they still have support options like maybe a toy merchant, maybe maybe a cheerleader. We already saw them play that. They definitely have some options here.
Yeah, for sure. I just really think now it's kind of up to just Chloe to pick a good hunter for this potential team comp. I wonder
Yeah,
if
for
this
sure.
I wonder if Chloe might be able to counter pick their team comp. I'm kind of like I really like those kind of matches where they're trying to like counter Opera or Ivy, and then the hunter just picks a completely random hunter and destroys the Survivor team. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with Chloe and GSL Survivors.
Yeah, if GSL, I mean, I think GSL are prepared for like the meta picks, but if they're not ready for something off meta, there are a lot of really strong off meta characters that are viable on Moonlit. I know one time Alex played Lizard on Moonlit, and I think that might have actually worked out for him. You got other off meta picks as well that can maybe work, like I don't know, like Axeboy or maybe something like a Hermit, but that's not really off meta.
I'm
But those kinds
actually
of hunters
looking
can win.
at Chloe IDV's underscore TTV's channel. So they're a Twitch streamer, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm looking at their character knowledge points, and they seem to play Percy. So we might be seeing an undead. I know that this afternoon someone else played Percy. I'm not sure who, but how did they do?
Wasn't that, I think that was LX, and I'm pretty sure he won. I'm not sure if he four
Maybe
killed,
we
but
can get a replica of that match soon. But yeah, I think they play Percy, Opera Singer, Nightwatch, Wheel, even Fool's Gold. And they have only exactly one win on Anne, so I think they have a pretty strong arsenal.
yeah, it's a lot of options here. I think a lot of these hunters can work. Like you got like the draw hunters with Nightwatch and Gamekeeper, and then you have some of like the specialty picks like Wheel and Fool's Gold. And as well, there are definitely a lot of options here, but Percy would be really interesting. Um, Percy could work really strong chase. It's just that not being able to chair really hurts him. We are going to be seeing Priestess and Merc band out.
I think one of the reasons why non-meta picks are sometimes kind of the move is just because I feel like survivors tend to kind of fall out of practice when hunters that aren't being used actively, whether it be in rank or in tournament or in practice even, just they just don't meet them often. So let's if Chloe can pick a character that maybe GSL survivors don't have too much familiarity with, you might be able to see them make some minor mistakes that can kind of lead to a loss. But then again, the match hasn't started yet, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But yeah. We are seeing a Mind's Eye pick. I
I think,
honestly hope that they would. I want to see it. Can
yeah,
they
no,
please go Mind's
they're
Eye?
trolling. Pearl's a troll. She's trolling. There's no way
Honestly,
they actually pick Mind's Eye here.
if they pick Mind's Eye,
It is
in my
gonna be
head,
an opera
they
band
win this
though.
one.
I think it's smart.
So I think they should lock it in. Oh, not locking it in.
Yeah,
They want
going
the
for the
lawyer.
starter pick with Lawyer
Mhm.
and Gardner too.
Yeah, they're playing the other team's global band, kind of rubbing it
Yeah,
in.
I mean Lawyer and Gardner are definitely really strong here, especially against maybe some of these picks like Percy. I think they're okay against Percy. I'm not actually too sure, but it is a Percy after all. If they coordinate well and as long as they're not dying really fast, they probably still can get a draw against a Percy. But Lawyer and Gardner are good picks in general. There's the Embalmer ban. Really smart ban there.
Chloe's Embalmer band might be influenced by when the Embalmer was previously utilized and Lily got that UK.
Yeah, I think maybe Embalmer would have been better to lock in first. I really feel like Embalmer would have helped them out a lot, but they are able to get the Acrobat instead. Acrobat is really strong at fourth stop, really good kiter. And then the
Yeah,
last pick is going to be that Gravekeeper.
yeah, I can't really imagine why Gardner would get picked unless they're maybe trying to target ban their Chloe IDB's hunter or specific hunter from Chloe IDB.
Yeah, I think I mean Gravekeeper does counter a few of those off-meta characters like Naiad, like Wheel, maybe like Anne. So I think Gravekeeper might actually work out here. The only issue maybe is if it's a Bonbon or something or a hunter that wants to actually chase Gravekeeper. But that's kind of unlikely here.
Yeah, actually, we might be seeing an end utilization, but I don't know if Gravekeeper is like the best rescuer. I'm not sure what else GSL has open, but I guess they are opting for that Gravekeeper.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't see Gravekeeper very often. You know, he's kind of less common than like the standard Merc and FO and the Wildling lately. I think even Journalist is considered better than him, but
Yeah.
definitely strong against some of these off-meta characters. And the other characters are strong anyway, like especially with the Acrobat, it's gonna be really hard to chase.
Yeah, I would say that with Acrobat and Patient, I kind of view them very similarly as they would both tend to spawn a fourth stop and kite quite similarly as well. But oh, yeah, we're seeing that and lock. I think right now what Dad Bangers wants to kind of do is secure at least a tire 3K to maybe help them go up in points and tie in points with GSL.
Yeah, I think if they can at least secure a draw, then they can play for a win in the third round. And if they're able to win both rounds, then it won't matter if they're behind in points. And Anne is a really strong draw character who can push for a win if she has a fast down. So maybe if the Anne chases like the Lawyer or the Gardener and is able to get a really fast down, the Anne might actually have an opportunity to push for a win here.
Yeah, honestly, I think with the Anne pick, it's really hard for survivors to win against Anne. But I would also say that hopefully she has high potential to maybe win. I'm kind of wondering what these builds are because I feel like a pattern in this tournament is that only one person brings Tide, which I personally find a little confusing at times. But yeah, we're seeing, oh, they're traveling everywhere. Wow.
Yeah,
Maybe they're
they're
planning
they're
their
having a little bit of
rounds with
fun here.
this.
They're gonna go around a bit. Really, really interesting builds though. We are gonna see a suicide build on the lawyer, and then again, only the gravekeeper has tied, like you mentioned. Looks like they are gonna go for a standard spawn here with Acro at fourth stop, and it's gonna be Gardner at corner house. I mean two story and lawyer at first stop. So we
Yeah,
might see maybe the gardener get chased.
yeah, I would actually argue that lawyer might be like the best chase because oh yeah, I don't think the N really expected the lawyer to maybe spawn at first stop, but I believe honestly this spawns her closest to maybe acrobat. I don't really think gravekeeper is a viable chase for Anne simply because once he enters his shovel, the cat just gets off of him. So it's putting on a lot of pressure for the Anne.
Yeah, it's also pretty hard to actually stuff a gravekeeper as well, since he can just walk up to the chair in his shovel. Can be really difficult for Anne to deal with, especially since she really likes going for stuffs and double hits with her camp. So I think the gravekeeper pick is actually really working out here.
Yeah,
But maybe
I would actually argue that with the Gravekeeper pick, while he can definitely get a clean rescue, I would say that maybe having the survivor onto a rebound would be a little more difficult, which is why I was kind of mentioning the tides before, because since Anne is a tide character, I think usually with more than one tide, like two tides can kind of really cement a tie or even a win with Anne.
yeah, it's a good point. Without the second tie, they're more reliant on just raw kite from whoever gets chased. If the chase goes down quickly, they don't really have that cushion that you have with double tide. And it looks like Anne actually is going to be heading towards the Gravekeeper, who is their only tide. So if Gravekeeper goes down quickly here, Anne might be able to win.
Yeah, I think if anything, she might just be forcing the gravekeeper to use his shovel and she's just waiting for her trick because he's kind of going towards where the lawyer is going. So I don't know. I think she might also be waiting for her quenching to be up because she's just kind of forcing him to keep using that shovel. Oh, I
Oh,
feel like
she
that was kind of a mistake on the Ant's part since the shovel was gonna end soon.
yeah,
Oh,
but Gravekeeper doesn't actually take the coaster, so and after a couple of swings is gonna get the hit on the Gravekeeper. And we do see
a
Warp is
ward.
up now.
We might be seeing a gravekeeper get insta downed.
But
Oh,
it does go to third stop now, so he gets a lot of distance here.
yeah, I think to press that second stop button, they were definitely not decoding for a little bit. But oh, she has insulin. Oh no, she does not have insulin. Sorry. She hit the shovel. Oh, wow, he went to fourth stop. He went on that ride just like that spawn point did. Good for him. He's all the way at fourth stop, and it seems like everyone's rotating off of this fourth stop side of the map. But she might actually leave the gravekeeper, and she's heading towards the acrobat.
Yeah, I mean, I understand wanting to switch targets here because they do have to heal the rescue. But unfortunately, an Acrobat is going to be a little bit difficult to chase here. We are going to see that first ball come out, and although Acrobat doesn't have a strong kiting area right here, if they can maybe rotate somewhere else, they're going to be really difficult to chase.
Yeah, we see that. Oh, great ball from the acrobat. Great ball
Wow,
from the
and Flywheel
acrobat.
as well. Gonna
Mhm.
avoid the cat here, I think. Yeah, no stun.
Yeah, and now we're seeing Gravekeeper getting killed by the Auntie. Good mind game from the Ant. I think Acrobat probably anticipated Anne going into the pallet, but she respected it.
Yeah, really nice play from the ant here. And that free hit is really important now because you only need one more cat to down this acrobat. Using the slide to dodge the
Oh,
cat
I
was
think that
really
was kind of a
smart.
mistake. He shouldn't have used his cross there just because the acrobat can easily ball off of the slide. Now we see acrobat kind of cutting into the lawyer, which is kind of slowing down the cipher progress. Yeah, since GSL did press both second stop and third stop and then also healed the gravekeeper, it kind of delayed the ciphers a lot, and now he's changing to lawyer.
Yeah, we can see a really great usage of the fireball from Toxic there, actually completely blocking off the area, and it actually made Anne switch targets just because she didn't want her ability to be blocked by the fire. So now switching targets a third time here, gonna chase a lawyer here who's at full health. However, lawyer doesn't have any resources, so with some strong plays here, maybe she can get the down. The only issue is the ciphers are really moving fast.
Yeah, I would honestly say that the Ant kind of messed up her route and her ability usage. I don't think she's really utilizing her leaps the best way she could.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's unfortunate that the GSL were able to set up their coaster support the way they did. Gravekeeper going all the
It
way to fourth
did
stop.
work. I think it was a little bit too angled.
Now,
Yeah,
unfortunately, Lawyer most likely does go down here.
yeah, we see the gardener here, and I think the gardener is going to start harassing for the lawyer. I think this might just right now they're playing really well. I think this might just be they escape at least.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many chairs are nearby. If it's only
I
one
think only
chair close
two.
by them, is it both?
So there's the chair in front of the first stop, and then the chair to the side of the first stop. And so with this hit, I believe that the only way he can really chair the lawyer is if the Anne were to go towards Godkite to chair.
Yeah, it does
Which
look like
might
Zeus
just
was
go
able to break
Godkite. I
both
feel
chairs.
like Godkite would be the better option. Or she can explode the gardeners, you know.
Yeah,
I
she
think
unfortunately
so.
misses her cats, but is going to be able to put the cross on the chair, so Gardner might have a hard time actually breaking the chair here.
Oh, she should have exploded it, but oh, I think the Anne might have been a little too early, impatient with that.
But she
We
was
do
able to get
see,
the chair though, at least, so now she has something to work with. But unfortunately, that last cipher is primed here, and they're going to be able to set up their endgame pretty quickly here. They also still have a coaster here for lawyer potentially. They brought it all the way back to first stop.
oh yeah, I just realized that as well. I do think, oh, Gravekeeper sending some love to the Anne, but I do think that because the lawyer has proven to not have borrowed time, all this Anne really needs to do is just stun him and hit him down. Amazing hit.
I cannot believe she got that hit through the double body block, and we also saw the rescue go after half. I'm actually not really sure why they were so hesitant to rescue that. If they made the rescue before half, they would have had another chance. But they are going to be taking the coaster here.
Warping. I really don't think she should warp because it's gonna go all the way to fourth stop.
Yeah, but no trump card means that she can't switch to teleport here. And yeah, it looks like the coaster is going all the way to fourth stop. Is Anne actually going to be able to make it to the gate on time?
She has two leaps, so I think she might be able to. Oh, maybe just leap, girl. Oh my god. Oh, it's an acrobat too. So,
Yeah,
oh,
and Brave is going to be body blocking with the shovel. They do make it out. What an impressive three escape there. Their play with the coaster was just phenomenal.
truly, I do think that maybe after the lawyer down, he should have just. I believe they should have just warped onto a survivor and then used the cat. But
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not sure. I mean, once they get onto the coaster, it's just so difficult. I think it's unfortunate that they didn't bring teleport. I feel
yeah,
like
I do.
teleport actually would have been really good here.
Yeah, I do think that while warp does certainly counter roller coaster, it's really hard to utilize when more than one stop has been pressed.
Yeah, that's the big issue is that since GSL set it up to go all the way to fourth stop, warp only gets you really to bridge. And if you have teleport there and you can make it back to the Gravekeeper, he only has one more shovel and Anne can get that down relatively quickly, so it's probably going to be a draw. But warp, unfortunately, she couldn't get across the map fast enough with just warp.
Yeah, I do definitely think that maybe instead of warping at first stop, it might have been more beneficial to have saved the warp a little bit later and using the jumps instead, just because after that warp, the cat cooldown would have been up, and maybe she could have actually added on a little bit more pressure.
Yeah, that's a really good point. If she's able to use the jumps to get a bit closer, maybe she can actually warp directly to the gate. And if she can do that, she might be able to draw still. But we
Yeah,
did see the body blocks coming in with the Gravekeeper shovel was really strong. But regardless, such strong play from GSL, and they're able to tie up round two, which means they're going into round three with a point lead. So GSL have a really strong position now.
Actually, also going to say the reason why I said that maybe if the Anne were to use her jumps then and then use the warp, I'm imagining she could use her jumps towards up to second stop, then used her warp to go third stop, just because her warp immediately at second stop kind of brought her in front of the bridge and forced her to kind of go around it, which is causing extra distance rather than just beelining straight towards the gate. So I do think that maybe, and also, once the warp would be done, she would have her at least one leap back for one of the cats. So I think she would have actually gotten a lot more distance with that kind of method rather than just warping immediately.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Unfortunately, like you said, she did have to take the long route, going around the Cipher Bridge, and unfortunately that did buy a lot of time. If you can warp directly past the river, that can buy a lot of distance. I think there were a few mistakes made that match. I mean, switching to Acrobat and then getting kited and then switching to Lawyer again just bought so much time for the survivors. But I mean, really strong play with the coaster meant that the hunter unfortunately didn't have many options.
I remember when was the Koa that a team abused the coaster when Clerk was more meta, I guess, and I think because of that, coaster actually got nerfed. It was
It
quite
did.
a funny match. I think it was in
I,
Koa maybe last year or 2 years ago, but it was really entertaining to watch.
what kind of nerf? I didn't know they nerfed coaster.
They nerfed it a while ago, so I believe the nerf was simply just um maybe the time in which it takes for it to get ready again to be used, or it could also be how early can you use the coaster at the beginning of the match. I'm not entirely sure because I don't really think there's a cooldown for the beginning of the match. I'm just trying to. I'm not really sure of the nerf, but I know that they did nerf the coaster.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they didn't nerf it enough because we can see GSL showing us that the coaster is still really, really good, especially if you don't have teleport, unfortunately. I think GSL definitely showed a lot of mastery over that coaster there.
Yeah, actually, I was wondering, can the hunter warp from first stop to second stop? So as in on second stop? Because I know that some hunters have managed to do it, but I don't really think it could be done for second stop because at the height level they're at, it would probably reach the bottom of second stop.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I probably I've never really gone into a custom and tried specifically to see what
I don't think it would work. It wouldn't work. But what hunters can do is they can warp from second stop to third stop, like on top of the stop. So yeah.
hmm Yeah, I mean, you still can use your warp to get pretty close to second stop, but if it goes any further than that, warp, like we saw, isn't going to be very useful, unfortunately.
Mhm. Yeah, I think the end did play well. I She just switched targets maybe a little too much, but at the end, I think she definitely had potential to get that tie.
Yeah, I think definitely if she mm, yeah, if she uses her warp a little bit more effectively, it's a shame, but DB can still come back in round three if they put up a really dominant showing, but they definitely have a lot of pressure on them. It's going to be
They
really interesting to see how they play here. It looks like Femdrake is going to be hunting first now.
Yeah, I wonder what else. Okay, so I actually asked Femdrake what hunters they played, and they said that they only play women. So I'm kind of excited. What other female hunter will we see? Maybe Dreamwitch or who knows? Maybe they can pull out an Ivy, but I don't. I'm kind of just excited to see another female hunter. Maybe Geisha
Yeah,
even. I think that's a pretty typical hunter for people who like women. But
yeah,
yeah.
it's really interesting. The good news is there aren't that many meta hunters that aren't women. It's like Wax Artist and Nightwatch, and that's about it. So,
Yeah, that makes
um,
sense.
Yeah,
I
you
think
get a lot of
Goatman
options if you're a woman lover like Femdrake, so we could
for
see
sure.
maybe like the Ivy, the Dream Witch maybe. Oh
Yeah.
no, Gamekeeper either.
Actually, while we're waiting for them to kind of get ready, what are your thoughts on Goatman? Do you think he's gonna be the goat, or is he just gonna be a man?
On Goatman,
Yeah.
I think the man part definitely pretty indicative of whether he's a man or a woman. Like
No, I didn't mean it
hard
like
to be a woman when your name is Goatman, you know?
that. No, I didn't mean it like that. But I totally understand. Yeah.
Oh,
I
what did you?
No, it's okay. It's fine. But I think with Goatman, his ability is definitely interesting. I know that first cage does take up 45 energy, but then the rest of the cages only take up 15 energy. So I think he's gonna have almost like a built-in warp with a strong chase. So he might be the next Primavant Hunter. I'm kind of excited to see how he goes in tournament. He probably won't be ready for IVT Fall or IVL Fall, but I know for sure he would probably be ready for Koa. So I'm quite excited to see his debut.
Yeah, I was watching some of like the Happy Bud gameplay on YouTube, and they did actually nerf him
Yeah.
very recently. So, but it
Mhm.
seems like he could be strong. He just seems really difficult because you do only do a chip to hit with your main attack outside of the cage. And that
Yeah,
means you have to get the hits inside of the cage, which can be difficult. But he seems really strong, I think.
yeah, I believe his nerfs were his charged attack distance, his movement speed boost, and maybe even his recharging. I'm not quite sure, but I know he did get buffed so that he can place cages inside the basement. But anyway, let's get back to the match. And so we actually see Dadbangers ban Geisha. I didn't even know Femdrick played Geisha, but it seems that they did. So we're seeing this Geisha ban and Bloody Queen ban, and they're actually letting Femdrake's opera out. And I guess that makes sense considering they did choose the lakeside, so they might be trying to hope that Femdrake is not super familiar with opera on lakeside. But yeah.
Yeah, I think Opera is just really difficult to play on Lakeside. It's pretty difficult. We see most hunters opt to just not play Opera at all on Lakeside. And they do also have a really strong comp here. They are going to be locking in that Toy Merchant first. And we all know Toy Merchant is not fun to play against on Lakeside. She's got those catapult spots at Big Boat, both like in the shore area and then leading onto the staircase. And both of those spots are really strong. So I think they banning Geisha means they definitely wanted to help their toy merchants succeed here.
I think hasn't even really played Geisha. I'm looking at um a conversation they're having, but yeah, apparently they haven't played Geisha anytime recently, so if anything, we might be seeing a Naiad now.
Yeah, Naiad would be really cool, and Naiad is decent on Lakeside. We know Lakeside is actually one of Naiad's favorite maps just because she can cut off really large areas like logs and small boat. But Naiad is going to struggle with Toy Merchant, so she is going to be forced to chase it small boat. And if it ends up being like a psychologist that gets antiquarian support, that could still be difficult to deal with here.
Actually, I would probably want to play Naiad instead of Opera with this team comp. I feel like this team comp is quite strong, but it can get countered by Naiad. Oh, we are seeing a possible Opera selection. Oh, Opera got selected. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so it looks like Femdrake does actually want to play the Opera here. Probably gonna chase Big Boat then. I think Opera kind of wants to chase Big Boat, but that Toy Merchant is going to be really difficult. We do actually see Toy Merchants spawn directly on Big Boat. I think usually they like spawning right under that. But she should still be able to set up her catapults, and that could be difficult. She might also just go for that psychologist.
Yeah, actually, Big Book kind of functions almost as if like Leo's memory factory. So it's kind of harder if you're offered to dash, but honestly, with Lakeside, it's kind of just hard for Opera to really go many places in the first place. I do believe that she probably will go towards that psychologist, as that psychologist might need help, or might have to move towards small boat and maybe get that support from the antiquarian.
Yeah, psychologist by herself can struggle with kiting Opera just because Opera has such a strong chase, and even though she has to get 3 hits, she can make that happen really quickly. But if we do see the Antiquarian support mid-kite, I think that would be really strong. If they can get some Antiquarian support, especially if it lets Psychologist transition to the catapults, I think we might see a really long kite here, potentially.
Yeah, I think yeah, anyway, let's get into the match.
This match should be getting off shortly. DB do have a lot of pressure to actually make a big performance here and take back the point lead. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they do here.
Yeah, you see the opera kind of going towards the mercenary.
Merc can be chased by Opera, and he is kind of in a middle area, which isn't very strong. So
Oh, that
unfortunate
elbow
elbow
pad
pad. He might get hit
really.
here.
Is he
And
lagging? I think he
lagging?
might be lagging.
It's gonna be a pause here. Really unfortunate. Maybe a restart because unfortunately it looks like Merc did get hit because of that lag.
Yeah, I think definitely that elbow pad really took him nowhere, and then he seemed to not be able to move that well. But yeah, quite unfortunate for the Merc.
Yeah, you really hate to see it, unfortunately. That was very fast. If they're talking about, 60 seconds, and that was definitely within 60 seconds. So we might see a restart here for this Merc if they were suffering from that lag.
Yeah, I think a lot of reasons why teams tend to not like restarting is because they are now knowing what route the hunter will pick. So I think with this restart, maybe the Merc will actually. Oh, the deduction is starting now.
Yeah, Femdrake is going to be surrendering here, it looks like. There it is. And yeah, like you said, if they can actually get a read on her route, that could be a disadvantage for the hunter. So maybe she'll switch it up and go for the psychologist now.
Yeah, possibly. Or if anything, hopefully the Merc just transitions a little bit faster, just because it seems like there's a pattern almost with mercenaries or at least rescue mains not really moving because they never think the hunters are gonna chase them, and then we often do see the hunters going for them.
Yeah, it's really easy to just fall into that like mindset of I'm just gonna decode until someone gets downed as mercenary. But against an opera, that's a character that really can chase Merc and can actually kill Merc really quickly. So definitely Merc has to be on his toes in case he does end up getting chased.
Yeah, I think though that the one rescuer that can kind of be near Opera without worrying too much might be just First Officer and to an extent Wildling if it's not a full presence Opera. So
Yeah,
mhm.
that's for sure. I mean, Opera really can chase like most characters in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Psychologist is still gonna be tough just because she's gonna transition to Small Boat, and the shadows at Small Boat are a nightmare to work with, and I think we'll see that if Femdrake does chase there. It really is very difficult. Those shadows
Yeah.
really not very convenient.
I really hope to see some good support on Dadbinger's side with that antiquarian.
Yeah, I think they have a lot of opportunities with the Antiquarian. I think if Antiquarian can get like Psychologist to catapults again and let her transition to Big Boat, like that would be a really big game changer.
Yeah, honestly, I think letting Toy Merchant out on Lakeside may have even been a mistake on Femdrake's part just because Toy Merchant is so good on Lakeside.
hmm
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there are like I think what it was Priestess Merc banned first, but Toy Merchant is still just so strong, and they did even ban that geisha as well, which is like the main counter to Toy Merchant. If Merc doesn't get hit really early, like we just saw, I think there could be a lot of trouble for Femdrake.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully Merc does that early transition to Big Rock just to be safe. Because I think with this spawn, we're gonna see T-Wall being locked.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, I think
Loading into this match, I really wonder if Femdrake is gonna go for that same route.
honestly, I think they might just because it feels like when hunters go for rescuers, it tends to work, and it's also really minimizing the time it takes for tide. Just because I think again, wild or not wilding, but mercenary is the only one with tide. Yeah, we
We
see
are gonna
Femdrake
see the
just going
same
straight
route
to
here.
that Merc, and this time this Merc actually gets to properly elbow pad. Beautiful elbow pad on Merc's part, and it seems like Femdrake missed their dash, kind of overestimating the range.
Yeah, unfortunate Femdrake didn't have her dash or didn't have her route completely worked out. But is gonna be getting some distance here, and this elbow pad might not be enough. This might be a hit here on Merc. Oh, not
Great
fast enough.
patience. Oh,
Wow, gets
got
in
to
through the
see that
pallet.
pallet, but yeah, Opera. That just goes to show how fast Opera Singer swings.
Yeah,
I
really nicely played there. And
oh
the jump back, Merc is actually gonna elbow pad into her.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I would argue though that Merck's elbow pads weren't super. They weren't used super well. I do think that using one to get to Big Rock was fine, but after using one, I believe that with the hit and then saving maybe two elbow pads, he could have kited somewhere else. Like let's say he goes to the toy merchant's catapult, or he's able to go towards 11, but instead he kind of traps himself staying inside Big Rock, which is kind of a really easy area for Opera Singer to get that down.
Yeah, and unfortunately, now we see Merc has no items, which means he's probably not going to be able to rebound. I mean, you picked a lot of support with Toy Merchant and Antiquarian, but Merc wasn't able to take advantage of any of that. And so now if Antiquarian isn't able to support really effectively, he could end up getting farmed pretty quickly here.
Port on can she hit again?
It
He
looks like
might
it.
be
No
dead
flywheel. She
now.
already used it.
Yeah, I do believe that that flywheel in the on the rescue maybe was just wasted since she missed it.
Yeah, really unfortunate. Missed Blink, however, and Merc is going to be able to survive because of that. This could actually lead to a rebound here.
Wow, great job on Merck's part. I do think he might just be going down soon though, because there's no more pallets, and Femdrake is kind of missed the dash, but yeah, Femdrake's just kind of leaving their shadows everywhere, and now he's teleporting back, and
Oh, but she's too far. She can't actually get the hit on the window.
yeah, this Merc is really using this window to its full potential. I think
Wow.
the way and he's just getting that free transition. I think
Yeah,
he's kind of sentencing himself to get hit with this open transition, but really good job on that Merc for getting that time at that one window.
yeah. That I think that missed Blink may have completely ruined Femdrake's game here, unfortunately, because right now the survivors have both of their last ciphers and they're around 50%. So, I mean, all they need to do is support Merc a little longer here, and they might be able to push for a win. And even if not, they can definitely get a draw here.
Mhm. Yeah, and though Merc has gotten nerfed quite a few times already, him getting hit immediately off the chair is still 8 free seconds. So
Yeah, it's just so unfortunate that Femdrake got rebounded there. Yeah,
yeah,
you really can't miss a
believe
blink there in an area like that.
yeah, I'm seeing the Psychologist and Toy Merchant both on their ciphers, but I kind of expected the Toy Merchant to actually pop first so that she could camp the gate, but I guess not. It seems that he's just going now towards small boat. I think looping small boat, especially when she has missed her dash, so she can't place any shadows, is really good.
Yeah, and now no teleport is coming up, and she does get the hit on Merc, but Merc is going to be able to buy time here and might force an extra hit, which is just going to be giving the survivors more time to finish this gate here. Femdrake is probably going to have to chair this Merc. And
She
by
built
oh,
a
she goes for the
stronger
teleport, but no one's
gate.
there.
Yeah, see, the issue with Merc is simply just that it's kind of almost like a built-in tide. I'm kind of surprised why Auntie is still going towards the gate, though she can definitely make it. I think staying on that dungeon might just be better for her, but regardless, it's still a 3 escape. So amazing job to Team Die Bangers.
Yeah, unfortunate. I mean, I think we really saw the weakness of the Merc pick there. We saw Femdrake, even when Merc was ready for the kite, it just went down so fast and used all three elbow pads. So with that fast down, I feel like Femdrake had a winning position, but the missed blink and then the rebound in that really difficult logs area just led to that three escape. Really well played from the
Yeah,
survivors.
100%. I do think because the Antiquarian Rescue, though she did give Merc distance, she got double hit. And then, yeah, had Femtrick just insta killed the Merc, I think then they would have been maybe in a winning position because then it would have forced someone else to rescue besides the Antiquarian. But yeah, good job to Team Dad Bangers.
All right, I'm not sure who's doing the maths, but what are the different outcomes here? What do GSL go? Thank you. Didn't. If it's a draw, don't GSL win? Sorry about the delay here, guys. We're trying to work out the win
So since it
conditions for
was 9-8 the previous round, we see winning 1 point. Now they're at 10 points, and Dad Bangers is at 11 points. So they're actually in the lead, and now it's kind of banking on GSL's survivors kind of getting that at least a 2 escape for them to kind of win this tournament or win this round. Sorry. But yeah, I think they just need a 2 escape to kind of no 3 escape even. Wait. If they get a 2 escape, the other team also gets 2 points.
Okay,
Oh.
so if it's what was the first round? The first
No,
round was
GSL doesn't still win because the second round ended 9 points to GSL, 8 points to Team Dad Bangers, correct?
it was 8-15. Nice.
Oh, never mind then.
It was 10-7. Okay, it was ten
Oh,
seven then, so now it's 10-11 in favor of GSL. Okay, so if it's a draw, then GSL win on points, right? I'm pretty sure GSL win on points if it's a draw, I think. Because the second round was a draw.
yep.
Yeah. You know what, guys, we will work it out when we get there. But if GSL get like a 3 escape or a 4 escape, they definitely win. And if the Hunter gets a win, I'm pretty sure DB definitely wins. So we're gonna go
Yeah,
with that for
so
now.
we see actually Father Milk kind of stepping in and saying 4 escapes, GSL win, 3 escape, GSL win, and then 2 escape, 1 escape, 0 escape, DB win.
I'm pretty sure if it's a 2 escape,
Oh, it
yeah, that's
seems
what I'm
like
saying.
Father Milk has messed up his math.
Damn.
So, yeah, it would be a win for GSL if there's a draw.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to really expect better math out of Father Milk. He has to do better next time.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm kind of disappointed, but either way, I think we have so much more left of this tournament. So yeah, he has a lot of practice.
yeah, everyone in chat, tell Father Milk to get better at math. But for now, for now, I think we should focus on the match here. We are going to be getting into the next match shortly. And
Mhm.
yeah, it definitely could go either way. Really exciting here. And it's going to be Chloe IDV again. So what kind of hunters do you think we can expect here?
Yeah, honestly, I can't believe they pulled out that Anne because when I was looking at the character knowledge points, it was actually Anne with 100% win rate, albeit it was just one win. So you might be seeing a very unexpected Hunty that might not even be inside of their character points. So yeah, I think she does have opera experience, and then she also plays Percy. So honestly, I kind of just want to see that Percy gameplay.
Yeah, you really want that Percy gameplay. I mean, Percy can definitely win. So if they feel really confident with the Percy, I think it could work. I think we saw exactly how much Opera struggles. So maybe not Opera. And then they played, what did they play round two? It was it
Like,
was no,
Father
what did
Milk
they
is
play? Oh,
really
Monero.
defending himself right now in chat. I don't know if anyone else sees this, but he's saying with a tie, even though there is 13 to 12 by
How's
points,
it
they
tied?
GSL
What
would
are you
still win by rounds. But
That's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying. You'll call him
oh,
out.
and so even Lalsey is admitting that Father Milk is a fucking idiot. Okay, damn, it didn't come from my mouth. But anyway,
All right, really, really sorry about this, everyone. It looks like there's a bit of an epidemic here with basic edition. Um, I'm sure we'll try to invest in a calculator for Father Milk. I think he needs to buy one of those, but you
yeah,
know,
honestly, for the winners of this tournament, can they just contribute all of their winnings? Getting the Father Milk like a graphing calculator because I think you might need the visuals as well. But
yeah,
anyway,
the pictures, the little pictures really help. I can personally
yeah,
recommend the TI-84. That would I think that would
I
really help you, bro.
actually think I have a TI-84 in my desk, but
Oh,
maybe
I got one in my backpack. Let's go.
yeah. Since Father Milk is saying he's in my walls, maybe he can borrow it. But I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know. He's calling you inebriated. I don't think you can take that, but
Yeah,
we can sort that out
I
later. I think
never
we're gonna
touched
need a drug
alcohol
finder
or
soon.
drugs, so I don't know what he's talking about. And why am I getting shit on by someone named Father Milk? Anyway, um, yeah, let's go to the game. We're actually doing the band pick right
Oh my god,
now.
what are we talking? Priestess Toy Merchant ban, really smart, and it's gonna be Ivy Opera ban as well. I like these bans.
Oh, maybe not Ivy Ban. Maybe they don't think Chloe has an Ivy in her arsenal. Oh, I think
Oh,
they might be committing to it.
yeah, really, really safe bans there, getting rid of the meta hunters, and I love the Toy Merchant ban. We didn't see any Toy Merchant last round, but she is strong, guys. She is. Take my word for it. So Hunter does not want that Toy Merchant smoke here.
Mhm. Yeah, actually, I think last game we really never even saw that toy merchant support. I think that's why sometimes even with a toy merchant pick, it's really just a matter of how well can the team work together to actually get that survivor being chased that support. But yeah, it just seems like they just were solo kiting almost. That's what I feel like most survivor teams do when the rescuer gets chased. It tends to not really have that much support for the rescue. It's kind of sad, honestly. He rescues everyone, but who's gonna rescue him, you know? But
Yeah.
anyway, get to this game.
But this is a really strong support comp. We have Acrobat, Cheerleader, and Barmaid so far. I would like to see an Embalmer maybe last pick to really push for that draw, but as it is, like Barmaid and Cheerleader is really good support. And I think DB's Hunter is gonna have some trouble here. They do have to push for a 3 kill. And yeah, there's the Gravekeeper lock, and no easy targets here, unfortunately, so it might be difficult to get a fast down.
Yeah, honestly, I think this team comp is quite strong, though I do think that the best chase would be that barmaid because she doesn't really have super strong support to rely on for that drink.
Yeah, I think if they can definitely support some, or if they can set up some support here, like Barmaid probably is the best chase here. Maybe you'd rather chase Cheerleader depending on who you're playing, but you know, that barmaid is going to be getting drinks, and if they can get cheerleader support as well, or the other way around if you chase cheerleader, I think this support is going to be a bit difficult to deal with.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm just gonna be right back so I can send Father Milk a message.
Okay, while we're sorting out these this beef here that we got some quality Wagyu beef going on in this Discord server. I'm really wondering what kind of hunter you guys are talking about. Percy. Percy would be crazy. Yeah, we are gonna see Zeus on barmaid. Zeus better not throw,
Yeah,
bro.
honestly, I do think. Oh, we might be seeing a Herm. Oh, now we're going to see a Night Watch. I do think Percy isn't bad on Lakeside, but I don't think they're really going for that Percy.
Yeah, they didn't want to go for the Percy. Percy would have been balling too hard. Unfortunately, no one could have handled it. So we are gonna get the Night Watch instead, who's definitely strong. And Night Watch does counter Cheerleader, so maybe we might see a fast down on the Cheerleader potentially.
I do think though that if Percy was selected, this team comp is just really strong.
Mhm.
Oh, is my voice okay? I just
Oh
had
yeah,
like
you're
a.
good.
Okay, great.
We're balling. Really interesting spawn here. Great Gamekeeper, Gravekeeper.
So I may actually see the Nime scenario traversing this entire map. So hopefully they give us something interesting.
Yeah, we got the classic GSL. They finally lock in a serious spawn, and it is looking like it's going to be Cheerleader at small boat and Barmaid at big boat, which isn't going to be very fun to chase. So, and I don't think Nightwatch wants to chase an acrobat either. I mean, Cheerleader's the best chase here, and she spawns in the weakest area. But he does actually spawn close to big boats, so I guess he might be chasing the Barmaid.
Yeah, honestly, with this spawn, I'm kind of thinking the Night Watch may not have confined space because that's the only reason why I maybe wouldn't have chased in small boat or shack area if I didn't bring confined. But yeah, we're seeing this Night Watch spawn between the Gravekeeper and the Barmaid, and I believe he might just go for that Barmaid because she's kind of gonna have to solo kite to get that drink off.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to set up some cheerleader support, so Barmaid is going to have to kite on her own. But the upside is she gets Big Boat to work with, and she might be able to get some drinks off using Big Boat. She also does have broken windows, so she might be able to set up some strong loops. We know that Big Boat is really good for getting looped on. It's going to be really
Yeah,
interesting to see how long she can kite.
yeah, I'm kind of imagining, depending on what this hunter is bringing for a trait, he might just use that trait to kill the barmaid while she's doing her drink. I do think though that it's just going to be very difficult for Zeus to get off his drink in time, but I'm kind of looking forward to how he's going to play it.
Alright, we're loading into this match here. This hunter does need a 3 kill, and it looks like they are going to head towards the cheerleaders, so they changed their mind. Maybe they thought cheerleaders spawned Big Boat, and they are immediately going to use that stack, which is very unusual.
Yeah, I think he just wanted that little speed boost, but yeah, actually Nightwatch does have confined, so I do think this area is going to really be optimal for Nightwatch to chase in.
Yeah, and once again, Nightwatch is going to use another stack of the wind boost. And usually you see Nightwatches save it up. I feel like you'd rather save it up and then use a bunch at once to guarantee a hit. Right now, we see Nightwatch doesn't actually have any stacks to use for that window, and Cheerleader is not going to be potentially getting hit here, maybe, but she can just use a speed boost here to dodge this hit.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, with this pallet drop, I really do think the Night Watch is kind of making some big mistakes by not saving his speed boost.
Yeah, we also see Nightwatch is kind of avoiding breaking the pallet until the last minute. I mean, Cheerleader bought a lot of time there without using either of her speed boosts, and now she can use the speed boost to transition here. She still has another speed boost to work with here, which she might use right here. Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like she's gonna get hit here without the speed boost, so that's gonna be another speed boost, and she can transition now.
yeah, I think this was a really good. Oh, great hit on Chloe IV's part. That was really good reaction time, but I do think that because the Night Watch does bring teleport, it might be hard for him to get this second hit.
Yeah, and the issue is 3 ciphers are already done. I mean, the survivors have really strong pace for a draw here. So unfortunately, it might be difficult for Nightwatch to actually pull a win out of this. He's gonna have to get a terror shock on the chair or something. And it looks
Yeah,
like he might actually get another speed boost here.
I honestly think this might just be at least a four cipher fight. I'm kind of wondering if anyone really wants to help the cheerleader. It seems that they're all just doing their own cipher, but I feel like maybe actually supporting the cheerleader so she never gets down at all may put them in a better position.
Yeah, it looks like they're pretty okay with just rescuing her once. I mean, this has been almost a 5 cipher kite. And Cheerleader is still going. Nightwatch is still having trouble hitting her. Now
Great
Gravekeeper
flywheel
using
on the
the
cheerleader, and now
yeah.
the gatekeeper is actually body blocking for the cheerleader so that they can kind of prevent that down in the first place.
Yeah, that the body block is gonna come through, and now the cipher is almost primed, so it looks like this will be a
Great
five
dodge on
cipher
the
fight.
cheerleader's part. I do think that while this is kind of a more minuscule detail, when the gravekeeper went to body block and was using after he used his ability, the cheerleader could have actually started supporting him to kind of get that speed boost. But I think she's kind of just letting herself die now soon inside the big boat.
Yeah, and we are gonna see Nightwatch actually put his ability on cooldown here. And Nightwatch, oh, falls prematurely, and she didn't actually jump, so he has to walk all the way back over. Looks like he may actually consider switching targets, and Barmaid is kind of running really close to the Nightwatch. A little bit of lag too, maybe, but it is gonna be a teleport onto the Gravekeeper here.
Yeah, it seems there might have been a miscommunication with Nibsonary and the cheerleader because she tried to reset his shovel, but maybe she forgot that he got out of his shovel on the body block. But I think with this game, it's just going to be a one kill from Chloe.
Yeah, this is looking like a 3 escape. Now, Gravekeeper does go down, but without trait, Nightwatch can't get to the other gate in time. And both Cheerleader and Barmaid are already heading towards the gate. It looks like Nightwatch is just going to be taking the chair, and this is going to be a 3 escape, which means GSL are going to win.
You know, honestly, I feel like they could have. I know that they already won, but imagine that if, let's say, the barmaid was at the gate and actually switched places with the gravekeeper, and then cheerleader supported the gravekeeper so that when he gets hit at 28 stacks, he could get up. They could actually have secured maybe a 4K, but that's kind of a little too extra. But yeah, great job to GSL.
Yeah, that was a really great match there. I mean, props to Abby on the cheerleader. You know, cheerleader is a character that generally struggles against Nightwatch, but what a kite there. I think maybe some inoptimal decisions from the Nightwatch just led to a massive 5 cipher kite, and in the end, unfortunately, Nightwatch couldn't bring it back. So really well played from the cheerleader and to GSL survivors.
Great job to GSL. And also great job to Dad Bangers. as GSL is an older competitive team, so I think Dadbangers still did very well against Femdrake.
Yeah, I think that was a really good match, and they did have some openings, but unfortunately they couldn't quite get it. But I'm really looking forward to their future matchups. I think they can definitely succeed in some future matchups, hopefully.
For sure. So I guess that's it for today.
Yeah, I think this is going to be wrapping up our matchup. Congrats again to GSL, and good luck to Dad Bangers in their future matchup. So this has been fun commentating. Thank you, Happy, for joining me.
Of course, honestly, my favorite part of commentating was just constantly saying dad bangers. So thank you, dad bangers. Anyway, also thank you, DTM, for being such a good commentator, partner. Yeah, but yeah, great. Make sure to tune in to tomorrow because I'm actually going to be playing, guys. So cheer on Happy Person 05. Thank
Yeah,
you.
everyone make sure to pull up. I will be casting that match as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun for everybody involved. Good luck to both teams tomorrow. I think we have three matchups tomorrow, something like that.
Wow, it's
Three matchups in a row. Yeah.
oh,
So
so it's 12, 2, and 4, right?
is it?
Mhm. Okay, guys, you guys are gonna have at least 5 hours of games to watch, so make sure to watch all of it.
Yeah, you guys got to get on that grind for sure. It's going to be a lot of fun for everyone. So looking forward to tomorrow's matchups.